think I might have found the answer. The answer to when is the best time to come to Disneyland. Join me as we take a complete tour around the park, do some park science, sneak onto a ride, and talk about what's happening around the park. This is our State of Disneyland report. This is Fresh Baked. You know, I don't know how this show is going to wind up going, but one thing that I do know is that it is going to be different than any other State of Disneyland report that we have ever done on this show. Let's get into it. Let's go get a vibe check. And as we descend the ceremonial steps down into Town Square, the astute observer might already know why this report is going to be different than any other that we have done. The complexion of the park today that we're going to see is I'm expecting it to be quite different than our normal report. That's because today is, or it is, almost 5:30 p.m. as we start this. I could not get to the park until 5:30 today, so we're going to be doing a late afternoon or evening now show here, the State of Disneyland report, starting at about 5:30 p.m. And let me just double check that actually while we're at it. I hate to be wrong, 5:32. So, you know, it could even be, it'll probably be dark by the time we hit Frontierland, you guys. It'll probably be dark.
Kind of.
That's not the only thing though. It is also a Saturday. I fly out to Florida tomorrow, so I will not be here on our customary Monday. And so I'm shooting this on a Saturday. You're still gonna see this on Wednesday, our normal airtime for these reports, but I'm shooting this on a Saturday at 5:30 p.m. I have no idea. You guys, I have literally no idea what to expect here because I have not been to Disneyland on a Saturday, except for maybe some special event, in probably years. With that said, the vibe is pretty standard. It looks pretty typical. This looks about and feels about like what we find on a Monday afternoon at about noon. And there you go, it says 5:35 on that clock up there. Oh, we're walking by the porch here at the Palm Parlor. You guys may or may not know, Frank, the porch potato, who would take up residence here early mornings, passed, and there's a little bit of a memorial there for him. When I was shooting that, I could hear guests like they were asking if they wanted to take a picture in the chair, and the guest was like, no, I don't want to do that. That feels like it feels. I don't know. I don't know if I could ever sit in that chair again. Unless it's like late in the afternoon, maybe like this, because I know Frank's not going to be here. He's a rope dropper. Hi guys. He's a rope dropper, or what? Anyway, I miss you, Frank. I didn't know you. We never met, but I've seen you hundreds of times in the park, and we're going to miss you a lot. With that said, I guess we have to keep going. The show, that is. Let's get back up to the train station and check out the reservation calendar because there's some interesting developments there as well. Start as usual with the look at the single day ticket calendar. It is going for $196 today. That is a tier 5, one step under the top tier, tier 6, which is like $204. So this is a high ticket day. This is the kind of day that I would normally expect people to avoid, which is typical for a Saturday or a Sunday. You typically see the highest prices for the week on that Saturday. So not unexpected. What's curious is that if we were doing this on our normal shooting day, 2 days from now on Monday, it would be $126. That's a $70 difference, you guys. Unfortunately, you know, as I mentioned, we're going to be in Florida on that day, so we won't be able to gauge how that goes. But when we get back, I mean, we can go ahead and look. The Monday that we do State of DCA, 104, and then maybe we might have to put off State of Disneyland until Tuesday because September 2nd, is going to be $104 also. Stay tuned for that. Let's look at the Magic Key calendar. Oh, and before we get into that, obviously, single day tickets are completely wide open. No dates sold out, none whatsoever, even today. So we'll get into the Magic Key calendar. We're looking at Inspire. You can walk in today as a Magic Key holder and make a reservation. So there's one reservation, it's booked for the 17th, which is curious, but not today. So my guess is probably this time tomorrow, or I should say, tomorrow morning, those Sunday reservations, I bet you they open up, and then it's sold out for the 22nd, which is the first day of the Halloween season. This is a bit of a contrast from this time last year. I looked at our report from last year, our State of Disneyland report. There were like 4 days sold out. One of them, obviously, I think was probably the Halloween day, versus our 2. So I think we're continuing that trend, right? But I do believe it feels like Disney is being a little bit more generous with reservations for Magic Keys. We're looking at September. Nothing sold out. We did have a sold out day last year. This time there was a sold out day, but nothing in September. And then Enchant, let's look at Enchant, Enchant. They are blocked out today, so they can't make a reservation. But look at all those dates that are available to them still, the 22nd and 17th. Well, it's the same bucket. Magic Key calendar, or the Magic Key reservations are in the same bucket. All the keys operate from the same. But it's interesting that all those dates are still available, even though Enchants are not blocked out. So once more, the table is set for this early evening rendition of the State of Disneyland report. And I think the lesson we're going to learn from that calendar is that it should be, my expectation should be that it's going to be a chill night. We're going to see a lot of short wait times, a lot of empty space out here. I mean, the walk down, when we did that vibe check earlier, it looked a little busy, but I feel like that's just a Main Street thing. I am expecting this day to be rather pleasant, which is what I'm seeing through the lens as we speak. Now, I'd be remiss if I did not introduce myself once more. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the show, with our channel, or with the show that we're doing today, my name is David. I'm your host. We've been doing this, coming to the park now for 13 years, making videos of Disneyland. We've learned a few things over that time, and we try to express that knowledge and information on a twice monthly basis. This is the State of Disneyland report. And in our State of Disneyland report, we go through the entire park, every land and every attraction, and we talk about what's new, what's happening in the park, whatever is topical, whatever's newsworthy. We do some park science, and that means looking at queues and trying to figure out if you should get in them or not, go or no go, that kind of thing. That happens to be a specific. Hey guys, how are you?
Fresh baked.
What's up? What's up?
To meet you, man.
You too. Hey, how are you? What's up? That happens to be a specific specialty of ours, is trying to gauge, how long the actual wait time is. Enough about that. We've arrived at Adventureland. Let's get to work. I'll tell you what, the park is going to look a little different through the lens now with this magic hour filming. It makes me kind of wish we did this all the time, because we're going to get some really beautiful looking shots, I think, as we make our way, especially right around the rivers of America. But as we come out, hey guys, this is actually kind of dense. It looks like they're all leaving though. I'm feeling a lot of leaving presence here as opposed to going into Adventureland. That looks really pretty. I gotta say, I was inclined to just shut up and enjoy the view, but we've got to do some analysis here. That's Jungle Cruise. I can't see the posted wait time yet. They're saying it is 20 minutes, which is pretty standard. It's pretty standard that we'll find guests on the left upper queue there, but nothing on the right. That's fairly normal. Also fairly normal is a closed Indiana Jones. So we cannot do any kind of analysis of Indiana Jones other than to say it is closed. That's unfortunate. Moving right along, we've already left. It looks like it just happened though, because lots of guests are leaving still. But we've already completed our review of Adventureland. How delightful. Pirates of the Caribbean is next. No queue on the bridge there, none at all, not even ropes. So that tells me it's been a minute, it's been a while since they've had any queue of consequence here at Pirates today. They would at least have ropes up if it was, busy in the least. Gosh, there's not even ropes up out here. How long? There's no ropes. That's the back of the queue. You're just walking straight into the threshold. They're calling it 20 minutes, which I don't blame them, but it's not. It's going to take about 8 minutes to get to the threshold, and then another 4 minutes to your boat. So it's about 12 minutes right now at that exact point. Just know, anytime you come to Pirates of the Caribbean, 12 minutes from the threshold from the entrance here when you get into the proper queue. 8 minutes outside, and then another 4 minutes inside. You know, we were here. I don't think this video has come out yet. I'm trying to think. No, I think it came out yesterday, if I have my schedule right. We closed this park the other night. It was great. Oh my God, what a night. If you guys didn't catch that video, you really should, because a lot of really interesting things happened. Not the least of which was arriving here after riding Indiana Jones. We got through the threshold at 11:59 or 10:59. The park closed at 11. Less than a minute before closing, it was like seconds. It was probably 10:59 and 30 seconds. We got the last boat, and we were all by ourselves in that boat. Last boat, all by ourselves. It was pretty amazing. It was pretty spectacular. And then we got to walk out of here in a fairly empty park. I hope you guys check that video if you get a chance. Take a minute to enjoy this river at this time of day, because I'm not often here past 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And here comes the Mark Twain. Mark Twain is going down for a refurb coming up. I want to say, well, it's for like 3 days. Now I can't remember what day. If it's like early September, I believe. But anyway, hi guys. Awesome. Hi guys. Hi guys. I would like to say that I'm going to enjoy riding the Liberty Bell when I get to Magic Kingdom in 2 days. I'll be in Magic Kingdom on Monday. But alas, what I'm going to find instead of a Mark Twain on a full river is a river that has been completely drained. By the time I get there, it'll be completely drained. I mean, even if you don't go to Magic Kingdom or Walt Disney World, even if you don't partake in that scene, that's gotta bum you out a little bit.
Big fan.
Oh, thank you. I mean, that's gotta bum you out a little bit. To think that we're gonna lose something as majestic as that at our sister park over there in Orlando. Man, wow, look at this. Yeah, it's a little bit more of just nothing happening here. Part of this has to do with pirates being, dead, but it's dead because there's nobody here. This is a very sparse walkway. Look, wow. Guys, I can't tell you how I am so used to a different scene here on this stretch from Pirates to the Haunted Mansion. Perhaps it could be also that the Haunted Mansion is closed right now. Let's go take a look and see if we can't find some decorations, shall we? Actually, before we do that, let's get into Magnolia Park here because, well, I still call it that. When we arrived, the train was not operational. It was parked at the Main Street Station. It looks like it is still the case. We're a little bit further into our show now, and it's still looking very, very closed. Something is not right at the local Circle K. I mean, at the Disneyland Railroad. This is usually a pretty reliable attraction. Beautiful here, though. Am I right? I wonder, you guys, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know that I referenced it in our construction report from Monday, but I'm wondering how they're going to change the decorations, considering it's kind of a new queue now, right? There's that whole new space back there. They could do a number of things. Are they going to change the arrangement at all? Because I saw some pumpkins out on Friday that didn't look like where we would normally find them. And by the way, there's still no Jack or anything out here. The house is not done. Nothing done out here. We got 6 days, you guys. 6 days before the start of the Halloween season. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Okay, yeah, do you see those pumpkins there on the brick wall there? That looks final. That looks like that's where they're putting them permanently for the day and or for the season. And I don't remember them being there before like that. You got some just sitting down there on the concrete. That's probably not. Those are the ones that I think go up here, at the entrance. I'm very much used to them starting a little early, like a week at least. You start seeing pumpkins and stuff on Main Street at least a week early. The windows start getting dressed about a week early. And I didn't point it out when we were on Main Street earlier, but I did get some B-roll. There's nothing on Main Street right now. No pumpkins. The only pumpkins that are in the windows right now are merch, you know, but there's no dressing. I feel like they're behind schedule a little bit, which is okay, because I kind of wish that they did it like they used to do back in the day. You know, like the night before Halloween, the park looks perfect, and then they spend the whole night dressing the park, and you come in the next day and it's like, oh my God, it's Halloween. And then the day after the Halloween or the day after Christmas and everything's gone. It kind of used to be that way. So a Bear Mansion it is. And by the way, another quiet situation here, but most likely this is due to the Haunted Mansion not being open right now. You would, normally see a heavy dose of guests coming out of the exit. I'm not hearing any noise coming out of Tiana's right now. I hear water. Oh yeah, there's an empty boat, so at least they're cycling, which means they're probably going to start it up again at some point. But no screams coming from Tiana, so it's another attraction where we will not be able to do any recon. That's 3 closed attractions. Disneyland Railroad, Indiana Jones, 4, Haunted Mansion, and Tiana's Palace. 4 attractions. Which ones are open? Tiki Room, Jungle Cruise, and Take Care? Are 4 of the first, no, Pirates is open. So 4 of the first 7, 4 closed, 3 open right now, as we make our way to about a third of the way through the park. An inauspicious beginning for Disneyland this afternoon. And I mean, we're just kind of powering through this report right now because there's not a lot to talk about, not a lot to review, not a lot to assess or analyze. I can't do any Q science. There's nothing to do at Pirates. There was no Q science to do at Pirates. Oh, it looks like they just opened it. It just opened. I don't hear the music yet, but they've got a posted wait time and guests are going in. Let's go see what this looks like. I want to know what this looks like. Well, they've already got it backed up over here because they probably would have dumped the queue. I don't think there's any residual standby guests in there right now. We shouldn't expect to be waiting behind any. Oh yeah, the music just went on. Did you guys hear that? I just now heard it. The music is back on. I guess I'm going to make another callback to that video that we shot that we put out on Tuesday, the closing Disneyland video. We got onto Tiana's and something happened to me on that ride that has never happened to me. I got walked off Tiana's, and it's only the second time that I've had a proper walk-off on any attraction ever at Disneyland, ever. In I don't know how many thousands of rides that I've been on. I thought we might get a walk-on, but I can see they're out here an extended one. So it's not a walk-on. You guys single? Were you single, Ryder? Oh, okay. Anywho, sorry, some guests said they were lost. I was trying to help them out. Okay, so it's just extended one, and it's actually just a little bit, so we're still looking good. I started a clock, by the way, and we're, let's see, we're just at a minute, but I started at 2 minutes too late, so we're actually at about 3 minutes at this point. Well, it was a bit of a discount, 14, almost 15 minutes to get to this point. I mean, certainly it wasn't a walk-on, but it's better than getting in this normal queue. By the time we're done, by the time we're out of here, I would expect standby to be at least 45 minutes, maybe an hour already, because it is warm out today.
Look out, Bayou, here we come.
Yeah, it's looking good for 45. They filled up section 1. It's still kind of dead feeling, even back here. I'm used to there being quite, a lot of bedlam going on when I get back here to Tiana's. It's still kind of dead. Let's see. They're calling it, okay, so they're calling it 65 minutes right there on standby. So we'll see if that reconciles back here. But the crowd, I mean, you can see this crowd is moving a little bit, which is good. Oh yeah, they filled that up fast, didn't they? Guests are posted as usual back there against the wall near the garden. And yeah, you're looking at 65 here probably. This is not a very brisk moving queue. It is just one of the most deadlocked queues you'll find in the entire park, a lot like Space Mountain. They filled up the garden even. So yeah, you're looking at 65 here. That's a legit wait time for sure. And there they got it again at 65 minutes. So the park is certainly much less crowded today than what we probably would have found on Monday, and certainly what we found in previous Mondays, right? Definitely much less busy. Much less busy than when we did this report a year ago, and I was talking about how bonkers the crowds were and how everything was going great. Disney must be pricing themselves out, right? They must be pricing guests out. Well, they are, but are they pricing themselves out? No, they're not. Check out the math. I'm just gonna use this for argument's sake. Let's just say that on the busier day when they're selling tickets for $126, they sell 45,000 tickets. Now, I don't know how realistic that is. It doesn't really matter. What matters is the difference. Let's say it's 45,000, and then let's say today at 196, they're selling a third as many, or I should say 2/3 as many. They're selling 30,000 tickets. That's 15,000 fewer guests. That seems, I could say, yeah, I would say that's probably 15,000 fewer guests in the park right now than there normally is. They must be losing a ton of money. No, they're making more money today. Just do the math. 126 times 45,000 or 196 times 30,000. Both days are making just under $6 million on that day. Is it right, 6 million? Yeah, just under 6 million. The $196 day is making $200,000 more than the Monday will. So what they're trying to do is level it out, and they have achieved, based on that sort of basic model that I just presented, they have achieved a sort of equilibrium on their end as far as that goes. I don't know if it's better. I don't know if they priced this Saturday at 156, or I'm sorry, if they priced Monday at 156, or hi, how are you? Hi, good. Or if they priced today at like 176, would they have sold more tickets? I don't know. But the result is they didn't lose money. I'll say that. Meanwhile, check this out. I scoped this out of the side of my eye when I was talking just then. That is a actually open Rise the Resistance queue. Rise is open. I can't even find the back of the queue. I'm looking there's no back of the queue in the caves there. Where is, okay, it is 6:33 as recorded. There's no parade. There's no parade happening right now. And they're calling it 45. Let's see if I can't peek through the trees here a little bit. I cannot see. Is Fresh Bacon, I have to get into another queue? Oh, there they are, okay. You probably can't see it, but I can. On the other side of that waterfall back there is a parked queue, so they're somewhere in the cave back there. What a discount that is. Guys, if you don't mind spending $70 more per ticket, come to Disneyland on a Saturday. Wow, or on any 196 ticket a day. That is incredible. You have an easier time getting on Rise the Resistance right now than Tiana's, Space Mountain, probably Big Thunder. My goodness, that was one empty queue. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. All right, guys. I'm almost afraid to look at the tip board right now, but we're going to do it. I'm really curious. I'm really curious to see how this goes. Okay, Alice, 20 minutes. At less than standard, 30 minutes as usual. Astro Orbiter 5. Autopia 20 with a return time of now. Big Thunder's 35, so that's pretty manageable actually for Big Thunder. Return time in less than an hour. Buzz Lightyear's 10, now. Gadget's Coaster, 20 minutes, that's not bad. Dumbo's 20. Finding Nemo 10. Indiana Jones, okay, it's back open at least. So now we were at 4 out of 7. Tiana's open, Indiana Jones open, so now we're at 2 out of 7. Indiana Jones is at 50 minutes with a return time in almost 5 hours. Small World is 15 now. Jungle Cruise 15. Mad Tea Party, Winnie the Pooh, that was open when we walked by. Matterhorn. Matterhorn is 25 minutes. I mean, good. But 25 minutes at 6:40 on a Saturday. That's really, really impressive. Just a return time of 2 hours. Guys, come to Disneyland on a Saturday. Runaway Railway, 35. That one's got a return time of near 5 hours. That's peculiar that Matterhorn is just 2 hours, but Runaway Railway is almost 4.5. Smuggler's Run, 15 now. So you know it probably is 15. That's a legit wait time because nobody's using their lightning lane on that. They got the app, that's weird. I don't know if I've ever seen the Opera House on the app before. I mean, on the tip board. Peter Pan, 30, nice. Pinocchio, 10, Pirates. Oh my God, dude, well, you know what? No, it's kind of like it's Fantasmic, but it's not. Fantasmic's not for another hour and a half. Almost 2 hours, I think. I don't know, but it's not. Okay, Roger Rabbit's, okay, they're hanging in there for 50 minutes and a return time of 11 p.m. So there's still a couple like Tiana's, Indiana Jones, Roger Rabbit. You expect those. I would have expected Matterhorn to be in that group also, though. That's what's 30 minutes. It's at 11 o'clock for the return time also, but 30 minutes. It's easier to get onto Space Mountain right now than it is Roger Rabbit. That's a very efficient attraction though. Space Mountain is very efficient. I want to do some math on that one of these days. Let's see, okay, Rise is at 30 now. Wow, so I was right. You have an easier time getting on Rise than you do a Big Thunder. I thought, okay, no, Big Thunder's 35. I was talking out of my butt, but no. That's hilarious, but Tiana's is still 65 with a return time of just over 3 hours. Man, what a fascinating afternoon. Interesting. I just had a bit of an epiphany because I've often thought that Disney has overthought the pricing, having all these different pay scales, 7 different tiers of prices, trying to fine tune things to, it feels like they were trying to extract the most out of us. But I feel like there's a nuanced opinion to that, a balanced opinion. We're going to talk about that in a second on our way to Fantasyland. But first, let's check into Smuggler's Run. We saw a 15-minute posted wait time there, and it is still posted 15. And I don't even have to go in there. Look at, you guys can't see it. You know what? Let me switch over to my phone. Okay, are you guys ready? Okay, here we go. Look at this. Can we get in there? There's nobody in there. I know it looks like it's glare, but that room is empty. If we wait a minute, we'll just see somebody walk by, hopefully. There's nobody in there. Come on. I'll stand here all night if I have to. How is this possible that not a single person has walked by that window in the 52 seconds that I've been recording? Come on. There it goes, there goes one. There they go. Okay, I thought I was insane for a minute. I thought maybe I was saying things. But you guys, we've been rolling for a minute and a quarter now, and 2 people have walked by that window. I don't even have to go into the room. I don't have to walk in there to see that there's nobody in that room. There's nobody in the queue. Nobody is in the queue. Okay, so I thought there was gonna be a big time difference between talking about. Here we go. So the idea that you're charging more is to, on a Saturday, is because you're trying to take advantage of people and, trying to, the highest demand day should have the highest prices from Disney's point of view. And that seems a bit capitalistic, which is fine. It's the capitalist country. We're built on that. But in doing so, they've also identified and are targeting the people that should get the best experience, I think, right? The people coming in from out of town, the people who come maybe, once a year, twice a year or whatever, the people who are coming in on the weekends are usually the vacationers, right? The planned trips. The people coming in on the weekdays are the locals, etc., the magic key holders, right? So the people who are getting the worst of it in terms of the crowds, the people who are getting, oh my God, it's too crowded, I can't stand it, are the locals who can come whenever they want, and they're doing it at $70, $90 less than the Saturday ticket goers are. And those are the people you want to take care of. Maybe I'm just speaking for myself. Maybe I'm just speaking for myself when I say that's fine. You know what I mean? That's fine. I can handle it. I don't need the park to be super dead for me. I've said over and over again, I kind of like it when it's a little busy because I feel like people are kind of into it and I get the better energy. It's a really cool energy when this park is really packed and everybody's having a good time. It's fun for me anyway. It's fun for me seeing people having a good time and enjoying themselves. So I can tolerate a super busy day because I'll just go find the path of least resistance. I'll just get on the monorail in Casey Jr. and Toads and I'll just do that all day. But it's the people who are coming in from out of town who don't get to come here very often. I'm talking to that same guest again as I did 2 weeks ago, walking down the same path. You don't want them to spend all that money to get here and have a miserable time, to make those plans, to come from so far, to drive across the country or to get on a plane and have a terrible experience. So in a sense, they are doing what people think they should be doing, and that's driving the crowds down by charging more money. It's working. It's working. I don't get to come here on very many Saturdays, so I don't get to see it in action. This has been like a real eye-opener for me right now. I mean, I sure do wish I could be going on Casey Jr. right now, actually. Hi. Casey Jr. and Storybook Land are both closed, so make that 4 now, 4 closed attractions. This is a scheduled closure though, not just a temporary one. Casey Jr. is going to be closed for about 3 months total, as I understand it. Same thing for Storybook Land, which you can see just over the horizon there. Just over Dumbo's horizon. And I can see with my eyes right now that Dumbo is empty. The queue is empty for Dumbo. Actually, let's just go ahead and take a peek. Oh, look at, oh my gosh. Wow. I mean, this is Casey Jr. right here. There's very empty space right here because of Casey, but it's just a trip. Hey, the guys, they're gonna repaint the castle up there as well. Isn't that cool? I love that they're doing that. Look at this. They don't even have chains or stanchions up or anything. They're gone. Dumbo is practically a walk-on.
Looks like we're coming in for a landing, gang. So please stay seated.
At 6:54. The back of the queue right there. They've got maybe two more rotations. That group is going to get on, and then yeah, they'll be in the second rotation after this group gets on. Amazing. 8 minutes. That'll be 8 minutes. I just can't get over how few people are walking around on here on a Saturday. It didn't use to, but the last time I was a Saturday regular, they didn't have tiered pricing. It was the same price every day. So Saturday was nuts. It was always nuts on Saturday. But this is delightful. I could get used to this. But by the way, I should say this is why because I kind of knew this already, but I just never really got to it. But this is why I don't do these reports on a Saturday or a Sunday, because I want the park to be a little bit busy so that we can experience that and have like a worthwhile conversation and do actual science. There's no science to do here. There's so little science to do today. That's why I do them on Mondays, because Monday became the new Saturday. Look at that, 10 minutes. Actually, this is kind of, for as not busy as it is, this is pretty busy for snow, because you don't often see the queue, or it's not always the case you see the queue out here. And Peter Pan, okay, that's dead. They're not over here. They've closed off Merlin's, that little section back there. You've got a chain down on the outside. You got 5 chains down out here. They're calling it 30 minutes. Yes, they are, 30, and that's about right. I would call that 30. It might even be less. Might even be less. Get in that queue. I saw a comment, somebody said Peter Pan was the worst queue, because I was on the video talking about the 3 worst queues at Disneyland, which queues were took the longest, and somebody said Peter Pan is the worst queue. I'm like, no way. No, Peter Pan is a delight, an absolute delight compared to Space Mountain Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And hi, what was the other one I did? Oh, Rise. There you go. You know what? Toad says 15. God, I'm so tempted. I have not been on Toads in a couple of months, maybe. Should I do it? What time is it? I can't do it. I'm on the clock as usual. When I do these state reports, I'm on the clock. I'm flying tomorrow, so I can't be here all night, and I want to, go home and have some dinner with my wife and spend some time with her before I head to Florida. So I gotta keep my eye on the ball here. Dead though. Teacups, no problem. That's next rotation. It's one rotation. They're waiting one rotation there for the teacups. Come around the corner, chicken and Alice's. That's a robust queue, actually. And that's something I say a lot. No matter how busy or slow the rest of the park is, Fantasyland pretty much stays in its normal bubble. This is very standard queue here for Alice. So that's actually, relatively speaking, Alice is packed compared to what the queues are for other attractions and what they normally are at. That is a busy queue back there. But this walk through here is very delightful, no problem. It's often very difficult to get through there. And then in front of us is Storybook Land. I still don't know what they're doing back there with that 10-foot thing that they're trying to build that we've heard about. We don't know exactly what that is yet, but it's going to be closed for another couple months, and then we'll find out eventually. I mean, I want it to be something really fun and interesting, but part of me is like, I'm scared that it's going to be just a complete letdown, and we're going to be getting excited over nothing, and that it's just all they're doing is just the new track. They're replacing the entire track at Casey Jr. Hey, how are you?
How you doing, man?
Good, good.
Keep it up.
Thank you. They're replacing the entire track and the ties, the railroad ties, which is similar to what they did for the Disneyland Railroad. Hey guys, how are you? They replaced everything there. But how that relates to Storybook Land, I'm not sure. Plus, like I said, we saw them doing the paint and polish there for the castle. But I want to say, I'm hoping that we're getting something interesting for that there's a permit that says they're going to build something that's like 10 feet high. And I'm just really, really curious what that could be. By the way, it is 7 p.m. And I just want to check entertainment. I want to make sure, I think it's 8:45. Paint the night, 8:45. Paint the night, 8:45, yeah. So people are waiting 2 hours for these spots right here for Paint the Night. Isn't that something? That's what all these guests are here, on the aisle here. I mean, they want to see it first, which I don't blame them. I like being, not having to wait. It says it's 8:45, but it doesn't get to you till 9. That kind of thing. They're going to get the first glimpse. But that's a long way. It's a long time to wait. Okay, Small World is posted at 10 minutes.
3 hours.
And that's about right. As we approach, we can see a little bit of a queue back there. It looks like just monorail. There we go. All right. It looks like it's a couple switchbacks back there. Maybe 8 minutes, 4 minutes. No, yeah, 4, 6, maybe 6 minutes in that space back there, and then another 5 to get to the actual boat. I would love to be getting in this queue right now. I just can't believe how quickly we're getting through this whole show. It's only 7 o'clock. I've been, 7 o'clock. I've been shooting for, what, an hour and a half, maybe? Hour and a half, and I've made it all the way to the back of Fantasyland B, heading to Toontown in an hour and a half. That is unheard of. Unheard of. Good. They got the Disneyland Railroad back up now as well. That's a bunch of guests exiting the Toontown station back there for the Disneyland Railroad, so I'm good. We're glad to see that coming back. Things are operating. Love to see it. Let's go to Toontown. Hi, guys. Wow. Look at. See that? When's the last time you've seen pavement in Toontown? Okay. Roger Rabbit first. This is one of those attractions that was keeping, oh my gosh, it was keeping its traditional long wait. It was posted at 50 minutes on the tip board when we checked it, what, just a half an hour ago? Maybe not even that. But presently it's sporting a 25-minute standby. Wow. That is incredible. Nobody waiting in Lightning Lane. Let's see how far we get. I'm gonna guess Baby Herman. That's how far we got last time. Okay, they're in the dip room, at least. Still going. Still going. We're passing Baby Herman. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, the dip room is the back of the queue right now. We are more than 2/3 deep into this queue to find. That is incredible. That's about 10 minutes from now. Maybe 10 or 15 minutes. It all depends on if Lightning Lane doesn't show up. If Lightning Lane stays the way it is right now with nobody in it, then it's practically a walk-on from there. It's just this stretch that we're gonna be passing here in a minute over my shoulder. But this, the dip room is maybe 10 minutes, maybe 10. These guys are getting a great value right now. Wow. What a bonus. This is incredible. And look, there it is. Still an empty Lightning Lane over there. Still empty. God, let's go check out Runaway Railway. I want to see how far we can get in there. Okay, we have another posted wait time of 25 minutes here at the door. A lot of guests going in. People are interested. I'll say that. That was not what I was expecting. We're not even in the prop room yet, so the prop room is full. That's surprisingly long, given what we just found at Roger Rabbit, and it's getting longer. There's so many people getting into this queue right now. I looked back, on my way in, and it was just a whole river of guests. And so the back of the queue is now not only not at the prop room, it's coming almost to the door. It's almost to the threshold here. Very fascinating. Maybe it's because it's a Saturday, so there's more families here, more kids, and more interest in attractions like Roger Rabbit and Runaway Railway or in Toontown in general. But then again, here we go. We got more of this open concrete out here. Look at this, man. We could do a little game of touch football right here. Man, bring your family on a Saturday and pay. Well, it's actually not $70. It's 126 days, and the $100 days are pretty rare. There's not a lot of those on the calendar. There are, and right now in this part of the calendar, but as soon as we get into the Halloween season, it's gonna be over. So what the discount you're missing is maybe $20 or $30. I would compare it more to the middle of the range. Don't compare it to tier 0 or tier 1 or tier 2 even, but more like 3 when it's like at 150, 160, that kind of situation. So it's an extra $40 instead of 70. Looks like a little situation is developing over here at Gadgets. I wonder if they're using the e-stop maneuver. That thing that they're doing at Big Thunder and Incredicoaster, but yeah, they are stopped, and it looks like they are going to evac. One of them has got a picker-upper thing. I wonder if maybe somebody lost a hat. There might be a hat on the track. The more I learn about Disney and attractions and how often, why they close, people think it's maintenance and that Disney sucks at keeping up their attractions. Most of the time, it's guests. It's guests doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing, like standing up or wearing their hats on a coaster like this that could easily fly off, dropping their phones. You're allowed to film. I can film on just about every other attraction at Disneyland. They are very serious about me not holding a camera on that attraction. That's why you never see me film it. They're always, I try, I do try, but I had that guess, well, no, I should say I do what I'm told. They tell me not to and I don't. But they allow us to film on all the other attractions, so I guess I'm not doing things that I'm not supposed to do. But there they go. They just where are they? There you go. Yeah, I guess they're deboarding now. But it's most likely somebody dropped something on the track. Minimal wait there for Minnie's meet and greet, 30 minutes. That queue is usually down the ramp towards the gate. They've got Mickey here at 30 minutes, but I want to go in there. Actually, we're gonna jump into Mickey's house real quick because I'm gonna see how far I can get into this queue before I find it back. My guess is that we're gonna get all the way to the screening room. Even though they're calling it 30, that could be more a factor, oh boy, that could be a factor of them not having multiple Mickeys, meaning guests. They have 2. They may have just 1. But we're moving through quickly. Oh no. The gopher took all the carrots again. Oh, they're going back. Awesome. These are my favorite. My favorite are the chickens. Still going. Still have not found the back of the queue. And there it is, exactly where I thought I'd be, the screening room. That's about, under normal conditions, that would be probably 3 rotations. They'll bring in 3 groups, or it'll take you 3 times through the door. They'll bring in like groups of 10, right? 10, and then another 10, and then another 10. So it's gonna be something to that effect. Now, I don't think that's a factor of the slowness of the day, although, I mean, I was not surprised to see that, but I've seen an empty queue back there many times during more busy days, busier than we're finding it today. So that's just good luck on their part, I guess. Something I've been meaning to talk about. We'll do it while we're here. This is not going to happen. Donald's Duck Pond is not going to happen. I don't think that we're ever going to see water here again at Donald's Duck Pond. You can see also they've closed off, that they spent a whole bunch of time building a shower back there. That it was closed for a long time to do that thing, and then as soon as they built it, they put a wall up and they closed it off. It's not going to happen. Nothing's happening there at Donald's Duck Pond. I don't think it's ever going to happen. And I would love it if they could turn it back to how it was, because that was an infinitely more interesting little small attraction when you could be able to go through the boat and go up it, go on the second floor, Donald's boat up there, you go on the second floor and look out. I thought that was way cooler than having the splash pad that nobody can go in. And look at that, you guys. Wow. The queue is now outside the threshold. It's out the door. It kept growing. People just kept getting into the back of that. They bumped it up to 45 minutes, which is about right. 45 minutes is the door. Do you think we'll actually find, hi guys, do you think we'll actually find a 30-minute wait like we saw on the tip board for Matterhorn? I think we will actually, yeah, because the parade effect is already starting to happen. See all these guests out here lining up. Where are those guests coming from? But other queues. They're coming from, they would be in the Matterhorn queue if they weren't on the street right now. Probably a little too early in my opinion. I feel like 7, yeah, they've been there since probably 6:45 at least, so they're probably gonna be there 2 hours. That seems like an awful long time to wait, in my opinion. Okay. Yep. Oh my God, that smells so good. Guys, can I tell you, I walk through this park 2 or 3 times a week, and I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people work at Wetzel's. I don't know how people work at Salt and Straw. I don't know how people sell popcorn. I don't know how people, it smells, at Bengal Barbecue. Oh my God, it smells so good. Okay, look at this delightful queue right here. 25 minutes posted, and it's probably not even that. We are, say it with me now, right of tree. The queue is entering right of tree, and I bet it's not going around the side of the mountain either. I bet this is it. This is the goest situation I think I have seen in a very long time at the Matterhorn. Let's go take a look. For those of you wondering, what does David mean by right of tree? If you want to know what that means, you should be partaking in our community at freshbakepresents.com. That is our sort of redeveloped website.
Alabama.
You bet. Thank you, guys. It's an app, our app on freshbakepresents.com. And you can participate in doing queue science with us, taking pictures, updating things, construction, refurb projects going around the park. And we have a merch shop also. And one of the most requested shirt we have right now is to make a right of tree shirt. That's the tree. And when you see the queue right of that tree, the back of it, you're in good shape. Less so if you see the queue left of tree. You don't want to see a queue in left of tree. You love to see a queue at right of tree. And you love to see when the queue is not at tree lamp. Tree lamp. When there's no queue in tree lamp, that's a good sign. Things that have become sort of part of our part of the language of watching Fresh Bake, park science, Q math, delightful monorail, but right of tree is number one with a bullet. Hey, look, guys, we're not in section 1 or section 2, and there it is, monorail. Wow, what a day, man. I wish I did not have a camera and that I had my wife and kid with me and I was enjoying this park as a tourist, visiting Disneyland, for our once a year trip, and I got to see a park like this. This is an absolute delight. I hope those of you who are here on that, rare occasion are having the best time ever. I feel like this, hey guys. Hi. I almost feel like that 196 is kind of worth it at this point. I know it seems like a lot, and plus you don't have to buy Lightning Lane. You don't need Lightning Lane. This is why I suggest you don't buy it until you get to the park. They're not going to sell out. So get to the park and get, just kind of feel it out a little bit. They'll try to get you to bundle it. But here on this Saturday, you do not need Lightning Lane. You could ride every ride you want to do here via standby, absolutely. If that attraction is Finding Nemo. It looks closed, doesn't it? It almost feels like it's closed. Still looks closed. Holy crap. It still looks closed, does it not? Right? No, it's open. There are guests walking in. Again, I don't know if I've ever seen this on us. I need to maybe make more visits on Saturdays, I guess. Which, by the way, let me double back a little bit on that conversation regarding the reservation system, because I was able to make a trip on a Saturday because the reservations were available. I didn't have to try very hard. It's still available today. And finding Saturday, that was part of the reason why I started migrating to weekdays, is because it became so difficult to get to the park because there was never reservations available for Saturdays and Sundays. They would book out weeks and months in advance. Now, part of that has to do with the seasonality. You know, something similar like this happened last August, and you know, when the Halloween season kicks in, it's probably going to be difficult again to make reservations. But the fact that I was even able to get one today suggests that that's part. You know, it helps to reinforce the idea that they are making more reservations available. Let's go check out Autopia. I mean, I'm expecting nothing, you know what I mean? And that's exactly what we're getting. Standby guests are walking up and they're turning right around and going right back to the house. There is no mix. Are they making them go into the rotunda? They are. How bizarre. But there's no backup hardly. It's a 5 or 10 minute wait, but they're still making them go around inside, and then they come right back out. Fascinating. We are down a lane though. We're down one lane. Yeah, the far left lane is down, which is typical. They start to close lanes as the evening progresses, and by maybe 9 or 10 o'clock tonight, they'll be down to 2 lanes out of 4. Hi guys. Hey. I was talking about how it might be dark by the time we get done with this show. I was hoping it would be dark by the time we got to Tomorrowland. They've been doing a projection on Space Mountain for Fantastic Four. I've only seen it on social. I want to say it was Sam Carter who posted it. Hopefully I can get that video, but it's really cool. It looks great, it sounds great, and it's, I've been waiting for them to do something. They spent all that time installing those new projectors, and they really haven't been doing much with it. Well, again, I'm not here at night very often, but I would have liked to have seen that projection here when we come by here on the State of Disneyland Report, but sadly, it'll still be light enough where they won't be doing the projections here. We've been making such a good time on this report, cruising through the park. You guys remember that one time when we were looking at the tip board and it said 30 minutes for Space Mountain? That was shocking. They got it at 50 now, but that's still, I bet you it's not. I'll bet you it is not 50 minutes. I'll bet you it is closer to 35 or so. While we make that walk, let me give you guys a heads up. I'm planning to do I'm gonna try one. I'm planning to do a State of Magic Kingdom report when I'm there on Monday. I don't think I'm gonna post it here though. I'm not gonna post it on the main channel. I'm probably gonna post it only on Fresh Baked WDW. That was always the plan, was to try to get everything over there on its own and not post it here. But I've been trying to kind of corral people over there. The views are not happening on that channel yet, but I think that is the plan. So if you want to see a report like this in Magic Kingdom, I'm probably only going to be doing the one. I'm not going to be doing one from Animal Kingdom or Epcot. I mean, Hollywood Studios actually probably warrants one because there's a lot to talk about at Hollywood Studios, but I think I am just going to do Magic Kingdom. Look at that. Whoa, that's why. We've got a 50-minute wait instead of 30 because there's a backup there with Lightning Lane. Isn't that interesting? I was not expecting to see a Lightning Lane queue there like that at this time. Anyway, look for that. Look for full disclosure though, and I'm going to say this in the beginning of the video when I film it. Don't expect it to be as. I don't know everything, but that's how I would rather do that kind of report than, hey, I'm at Magic Kingdom, let's go on some rides and stuff. I'll do the rope drop, I'll do the closing videos, and I'll do strategies type stuff, but it's hard for me to just vlog and talk about. I like to be able to impart some sort of I just like to evaluate the park as I go through it. So it's more about the format. I like the format, and that's how I want to vlog from Magic Kingdom. I'm not saying you're going to learn a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, there will be, the queue science works no matter where you are, but I don't know the queues as well there as I do here. This one's busy. I was wrong. I thought it would be 35, but this might actually be closer to 50 than it is 35. 35 would be probably, just that section there alone. But then you've got this additional section. It's an hour. It's at least an hour from the door right here. I have measured that and have been able to repeat that a little bit. If you're at this door and everything else is full inside, or at least more or less full, you're going to be waiting at least an hour from here. And then you can start adding 20 minutes, for these switchbacks also if you're out in that space. So while it's not 30 or 35, it's probably not 50 either. I didn't get to hear the music when we walked by because they're doing the show at the Tomorrowland Terrace, so I just wanted to pick that up. I love the music in Tomorrowland. It looks like Single Rider is doing pretty brisk business here as well. The entrance is now up there. You don't enter here. The entrance is way up there, but it looks like that's probably 20, 25 minutes there for Single Rider. That's one thing I'm looking forward to. Going back to Magic Mountain is their I just love their Tomorrowland. It's so great, and they play the music obviously, but they got the People Mover, Carousel of Progress. Their Space Mountain is amazing. It's unfortunately the Buzz Lightyear is closed, but having said that, their Buzz Lightyear sucks. I rode it one time last trip, it was terrible, but I was looking into what they're changing there, and it's pretty much everything that I complained about. At least in my head, I don't know if I said it in the video, but I don't not like their Buzz Lightyear, but I think they're fixing it. Still waiting for Star Tours to come back. We got a couple more weeks on that, I think. And then Astro, look at that, 5 minutes. Wow. You could just walk on to Buzz Lightyear at 7:43 p.m. on a Saturday. The wait for the Astro Orbiter is considerably longer. That's approximately 20 minutes there than it is for Buzz Lightyear. That'll be 10 minutes to the vehicle. And that's a solid 20 right there for Astro Orbiter. $7:44, and it looks like they're getting close to showtime. We're an hour to showtime for Paint the Night. These guests are going to see it probably at about 9 o'clock. Waiting, and you can catch this show. You can stand up and stand behind those guests down on Main Street and along the corridor. But if you want to sit, you do have to wait a little bit. And last stop, it's going to be Frontierland. This park is so different. It's just so different in the evenings compared to when I'm usually here. It's so, sometimes I trip out. There's a completely different energy, a completely different set of operational choices that they make. It's so fascinating to see how this park changes. Hi guys. How this park changes, let's say maybe at 3, 4, 5 o'clock. Well, even now after that, maybe starting at 5 o'clock, because it is now 7:45. And we're starting to see those changes take effect here. But it's just different because a lot of it has to do with, getting ready for the shows, the parade, and fireworks, etc. Let's see, yeah. Big Thunder's dead too. I forgot to look. Let's see. There's a little bit of a wait here in the extended queue. That's about 10 or 15 minutes, maybe if that, on the exterior queue. So I'm going to look for that sign to say something like 30, 35 minutes. It's from the threshold. It's usually 20 or 25 minutes. Yeah, they're calling it 30. Easy peasy, man. That is, hi guys. That is a very easy queue for Big Thunder, even relative to what else we've seen today. And no lightning lane. And so completes perhaps the easiest, breeziest darn State of Disneyland report I've ever done. Don't expect me to do these again on a Saturday because, as I mentioned, I don't like to do it on when the park's dead because it's there's not enough to do and talk about. I want to do some science. I want to get into something. But man, what a delightful night this was. We got done it fast. I mean, it is. We shot this whole thing in 2.5 hours. It's got to be some kind of record. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you guys very, very much for watching. And we'll see you in the next one. We'll see you in Florida. Stay tuned for that. Fresh Baked WDW. That's the name of our channel where we post our Florida content, if you're into that. Fresh Baked WDW. I'm hoping if things go well enough, that's the only place we're going to be putting them. But if I feel like I need to get a few more views to get a little more mileage out of it, because it's not cheap flying to Florida and seeing all that stuff, then you might see some stuff here. But look for it there. And we'll see you next time. Oh, don't forget the app, freshbakedpresents.com. There's a link in the description, or just go to that, just type it in. Hi guys, hi. And join the community. Join the app, join the community, participate in construction updates, post your photos, post the photos of the food you ate, and enjoy the conversation with like-minded folks. And then we'll see you next time. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another. Fresh Baked.